The main antagonist of Blazblue, an immortal being, Izanami, is an impressive character with projectiles that can be fired during normals, high-low mix-ups, set play, super armor, unique movement, and corner carry. Izanami's drive can fire bits during any move, which makes it hard to challenge her during her strings and even her punishable moves. Izanami's drive is Sharon Exodus Arc. By default, Izanami is in normal mode, where she has access to C normal follow-ups and J2C. She can still use drive specials, but will have a startup animation. When pressing drive, she goes into active mode, indicated by the open bits. Izanami cannot block while in active mode, but can shoot bits with 2, 4, 6D during attacks, and drive specials have no startup animation. Izanami's overdrive, Zekai Arc Force, will first force Izanami into normal mode. Izanami has access to all abilities in either mode, has shortened recharge time on drive moves, and drive specials can now be performed during her attacks. The only limitation is that C follow-ups cannot be done while the drive bits recharge. Izanami is the only character in the game that can float. Instead of a double jump, pressing up while in the air summons a platform for Izanami to stand on. While floating, Izanami has access to all of her grounded normals, specials, and dash. You can exit float state by either pressing up or using 6A, 6B, or 214B. However, all grounded moves while in float are mid hits only. Izanami can also refresh her air dash while floating, meaning you can air dash, float, jump to end the float, then air dash again. Also, all normals are jump cancels while on hit or block, which ends the float. Izanami can use these jump float cancels to create hard to react high-low mix-ups while staying close to the opponent. 623B, Shield of Dreams, is an infamous special that grants Izanami super armor. Izanami can freely move around, but the shield passively depletes Izanami's barrier gauge. All hits will further deplete her barrier gauge. The shield does not block throws, unblockables, or bursts. Izanami can cancel 623B with another 623B, Bulwark. This move has 15 iframes, has an active hitbox, and grants some barrier gauge if it hits the opponent. 63146C, Distant Affection, is a command grab that will grant Izanami 500 health, drains the opponent's barrier gauge, and restores Izanami's barrier. This move will cancel 623B. Back to drive moves. Drive normals, while in active mode, have their uses both for zoning and for keeping Izanami safe during certain moves or keeping her pressure going. 4D shoots 3 bits forward. 6D sends the bits in a condensed space and tracks the opponent. 1, 2, and 3D send out the bits in a cone shape. 2 sends the bits forward, 3 sends the bits up, and 1 sends the bits down. For 1, 2, 3, 6D, Droplet sends out the bits to track the opponent. After some time, the bits will fire a shot in the middle, stunning the opponent. The tracking stops when the bits are about to fire. This is useful for pressure and combos. 63214D, Orchid, sends out the bits in a multi-hitting fan. In combos, you can use this to fully charge 41236C for max damage. For Oki, simply use this move in the corner to force your opponent to block. 236A, Ghost Peak Strike, is a mid attack that has only -1 on block and a combo tool. 214A or B, Thunderbolt Lance, makes Izanami disappear, then teleports with a dash attack. 214A is a mid hit that has -2 on block and wall bounces in the corner. Izanami will still remain at float height. 214B is a low slide that remains active until it hits the opponent. This move is -9 on block, meaning you'll need drive or RC to keep yourself safe. If done from float, Izanami will teleport to the ground. This also leads to a combo on hit. 41236C, Flaming Dome, charges a meteor that has 4 levels. Each level increases the size, damage, and number of hits. This is mainly used as a combo ender that sets up into 623B or 63214D. You can also use this in neutral. J63214B, Arms of Sympathy, halts Izanami's air momentum and then dives forward with an attack. This move is float cancelable on hit or block, but landing recovery stays when the float ends. 236236B, Stake of Supremacy, is a combo ending and reversal super. 214-214C, Hour of Nihility, is a command grab that will freeze time, allowing you to freely combo. After 3 seconds, an additional 100 damage is dealt. 720A, Moment of Benevolence, requires 100 heat. Izanami cannot move and can only use drive normals. After 5 to 6 seconds, Izanami will freeze time. This is an unblockable attack that is matchup specific. 5C is a fast jab that has long recovery. 5CC will push the opponent back and can be special cancelled. 2C is a slow mid hit that fatal counters. 2CC sends the bits forward then back to Izanami, vacuuming the opponents. This move is 0 at worst and +5 at best. The closer the move is used, the more plus she is. 6C is a 2-hit attack that is first a low, then high. This can be used both for a mix-up or in combos. 6CC is a mid that isn't used often since there are better combo options. JC is a standard air hit. In normal mode, it will automatically go into a second follow-up attack with the bits. On hit or block, the first hit can be float cancelled. J2C, which can only be used in normal mode, creates a hitbox around Izanami. This mainly sees use in combos. 5B, 2B, and JB are all long-reach kick attacks. 2B is particularly good, since it moves Izanami forward. 3C is a low slide that is good for pressure and combos. This move cannot cancel into anything on block, and is -23. However, when used during float, you can use this to get back in from barrier block and float cancel. While in float, 2B and 3C are great normals to use to get back in on your opponent, and if you use drive normals, Izanami's pressure becomes much harder to deal with. 6B is an overhead on the ground and mid while floating. This move will also cancel float. 6A is Izanami's anti-air. This move is float cancelable on hit or block and Izanami's -1 if she float cancels from 6A, making this a decent tool to start float pressure. Izanami has very strong tools that cover many options. If she wants to access some of her better tools, she will need to sacrifice some of her defensive options. The main thing to remember is that Izanami cannot regular or barrier block while she is in active mode. Even if she wants to zone, she herself is susceptible to zoning. Another tool Izanami has is 623B. While mostly used after a knockdown to guarantee Oki, there are specific counterplays. Seen by Fenrich, if you have a DP that remains grounded after an RC, you can use this to hit the ribcage and go for a throw. This does not guarantee the throw, but gives something Izanami to look out for. If Izanami uses 623B in neutral, you can still attempt to throw out moves to poke. Your goal is to drain Izanami's barrier gauge faster, so try to keep it safe with either projectiles or jump cancelable moves. If you are close enough when Izanami uses 2CC, you can attempt to challenge with either an A normal or DP. If Izanami goes for the 6A float cancel, she is still -1. This means you can either throw out fast anti-air, fast normal, or attempt to retreat from the pressure. Some Izanami players to watch are Yamasta, Suzuki, and Miya.